Who's familiar with the university UATX, by the way? Show of hands. Let's go. Oh, that gentleman is. Why don't you come on stage, Dr. Thomas Hogan? Come on, give him a round of applause. Joe Kelly, you want to come on stage real quick? Grab which, yeah, perfect seat. You may want to check, Joe, is that the seat that has 1 Bitcoin underneath it? Would it be cool if Joe gave away 1 Bitcoin tonight?
It would put me on the spot here. Only if you use Unchained.
Only if you use Unchained. We're making progress, team. He didn't say no. We're making progress. Well, Joe has been super kind, opening up this space to Bitcoin Commons, which Parker started. And then now we've been kind of growing it with all these amazing meetups, workshops, and summits we've hosted. One of the coolest things, especially in Park, Nashville, where I live, is our relationship with Vanderbilt as well as Belmont University. It's not to the same degree as UATX and what you guys done here, Joe. So I just wanted to maybe give you the floor to explain a little bit about that, and then also how awesome this university is, because you guys are crushing it right now. Can you double check?
There we go. Levels are good. Sweet. Well, yeah. UATX is a neighbor, not only physically, I feel like also ideologically, philosophically, and spirit. It's a university with a mission statement of the fearless pursuit of truth. And I think just a world where people lose sight of those things or have other influences sort of influence the academic study of rigorous subjects. I just appreciated that this was getting started down the street. I thought that the audience, the clients, the community around Unchained would benefit knowing more about them, and it turned out most already did. So actually, at the point they'd been launched, they'd been out for a couple of years. It was more selling of Bitcoin to them than needed to happen. I think selling UATX to Bitcoiners is, I think, kind of how we found. But also the academic community there, the student population has really taken it up, picked it up. I helped start the Bitcoin endowment there, which is the only university endowment that will hold Bitcoin for 5 years or more for any donations they receive. So it's just great to see that kind of long-term commitment to the space, and some real insiders there that are helping champion in this.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate your involvement and happy to be here. For anyone that is confused and hasn't heard of the University of Austin, we're a brand new university based here in Austin, Texas. Not the big University of Texas, but a small university. We've literally just started last September. We had 92 freshmen that came in, and we are the first university that's been founded in the United States, like 50 years or something. So, a lot of our founders, they announced this about 3 or 4 years ago that they were going to start a new university. And we have a board that's largely composed of professors that were at other universities that they wanted to try to reform. They found that there was too much ideology and too much pressure for conformity. And people that wanted to speak freely were being canceled. Students that wanted to have open discussion just couldn't do that. And they decided they had to have a whole new university. And so we're lucky that we have a lot of freshmen that are excited about discussions. A lot of them have come to the university specifically because they didn't want to go to a big indoctrination factory. They wanted to have free speech. They wanted to have open discussions. And so we feel like, hey, look, we're a lot like the Bitcoin community. We're pushing back against the status quo. We're championing free speech. We actually have it baked into our DNA in the same way that the hard cap is in the code. We have actually a constitution that we are based around. So even if administrators tried to cancel us and tried to prevent us from having free speech, we could sue because we have a constitution that they have to abide by. And so free speech is literally part of our code in the same way the hard cap is part of Bitcoin. And so it's a pretty exciting place to be. And I'm happy that we had a big demand from the students that they wanted to learn about Bitcoin. And so we're actually teaching right now a class to freshmen about Bitcoin that they're learning about it and getting to participate.
How do you even find these amazing students?
Well, so we're recruiting like all over the country, but we're specifically targeting students that didn't want to go to some college where they had to conform and had to have the same opinion. And so we've been trying to go to schools where students would be like, they're high achieving, they're bright, but they think differently and they just want to have open discussions. And it's interesting because they really come from sort of across the ideological spectrum. We've been accused of just trying to be a new like right-wing ideology factory as opposed to the left wing, but it's really not like that. It's amazing. We have both students and faculty that are across the political spectrum, and the students love it. I mean, we've been featured on Fox News and 60 Minutes and a special with the Wall Street Journal. And the students talk about how they love being able to express their ideas. They feel like they can say anything and just have discussions and talk about like what they think is right and true.
and the students couldn't come here tonight because they have what was going on again tonight?
Yeah, we bring in guest speakers every week that the students are required to go to one night a week in the evenings. They have to stay, but it's actually, sometimes it's more than that. Our students are very busy. They do a lot of reading and a lot of work. And so we have a lot of great speakers. Like a few weeks ago, we brought in Peter Thiel and the Larry Summers, who's a professor at Harvard, and like all kinds of different people that are coming in and talking to the students. We actually had last week SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce, Crypto Mom, came in and had lunch with our students and talked to them. So that was pretty fun. So a lot of great experiences for them. Unfortunately, one of them was tonight and they couldn't make it, but they're excited about a lot of other events going on at Bitcoin Park in Austin.
There you go. We're all getting used to that. Well, with the last minute we have here, I am actually very curious. So what are we going to do with the Bitcoin in 5 years, after 5 years?
So we have this Bitcoin.
I can give you an address.
Yeah. So as Joe mentioned, we have this Bitcoin endowment where, with the help of Unchained, we're actually holding our own keys.
That's huge. Can you guys give him a round of applause rather than doing like a Coinbase third party?
Yeah, and so we're hoping that it's going to continue to take off. But we also, if anybody wants to give, we have these special programs like the course that I'm teaching right now. We had donations that we had miners that we're going to give to the students and have them spin up a miner and other equipment. They're having wallets. They're hopefully going to have cold storage wallets that they're going to learn with. And if anybody wants to contribute to the endowment or to the courses and programs, we are totally open to that. Thanks very much to Joe and Unchained.
That's awesome. Joe, any other thoughts around this DAF program that you guys have structured or anything else on the Unchained front?
Yeah, so DAF stands for Donor Advised Funds, which is really in this kind of giving category and category of philanthropy. If you don't know how a DAF works, it's basically you can take all your, the tax advantages of making the donation in 1 year, but then you can parcel it out of the fund later. And at Unchained, we have a DAF product where you can continue to hold a key to that Bitcoin that you already donated to your DAF. That's when we kind of hold Bitcoin for churches or other organizations that are nonprofits that may not be able to accept Bitcoin yet, but you do want to be granted to them over time, over a couple of years after your initial putting it in the DAF.
Man, can you guys give these two gentlemen a huge round of applause? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Rod.